Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to fix you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. But glad you're tuning in on the latest tip. Alternative salon, keep your head lit. And naturally yours got your custom fit. T-shirt Benson, can keep your wig drip. TNT, double up the impact, call it Twinness. Hottest hairstylist in the business. Keeping topics fresh for your listening. Black owned, woman independent. Like fishes hold it down on your imaging. Whether professional or apprenticeship. Showing culture love just to get you right. Black is beautiful, always shining bright. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Tisha McDonald, Alternatives Beauty Studio.
And I'm Tanika Gillard. I am Naturally Yours.
Hello. Do we have anything that you wanted to talk about today?
Today, we're going to talk about our diabetic babies. Is this the first Sunday? I don't think I mentioned the other, but okay, diabetic babies. So we have type 1 diabetes. And it's very challenging sometimes for the families to learn how to give insulin. For the child as well, they have to count carbs. They have different orders that come into the school nurse. And this is why we have school nurses now, because we have more diabetics, more asthmatics than we used to have in the past. And so I know school nurse, and I've had very brittle diabetics, 6 and 7 years old, and would have to count the carbs with them. And they would be checked throughout the day for diabetes. So it's called juvenile diabetes. And that's when you have it from birth, or type 1 diabetes, and it'll extend through your life. And sometimes these kids, I know I had some teenagers in high school that would have a pump, and they could calculate their own insulin dose at that age. But when you're first starting out, just those finger sticks, checking your blood sugars, it's a lot. And the colors for this type of diabetic 1 is blue and silver.
Okay, thank you so much. And I have an update from last week when I told you guys that the boy fell out and he was paralyzed. He is now well. He is out of the hospital. He is back in school. It was a temporary paralyzation, thank God. And I am so happy that he is okay.
Me too. I wonder if he'll still continue to play football.
I wonder.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. So we are going to get into a topic. I know that you guys like to hear us talk about ourselves, about being twins and all. And you also like to hear about our story from foster care to fabulous. But you also like when we talk about business. Aside from doing hair and braids and stuff like that, y'all like to hear our little business nuggets. And T, I think we're going into the fourth quarter, final quarter, last pull, last drive for the year. And we're in that now. And so we know that the fourth quarter is major. A lot of businesses make 40% of their revenue in the last quarter. So if you didn't do good in the first 3 quarters, the last quarter is what's going to bring it up. And so, it's a little bit different this year. Maybe a little bit better than last year, but I'm not sure because the past few years with COVID, we couldn't go shopping, we couldn't be with family and things like that the way we normally would. And this year we are able to, but are people going to be spending the money the same way? Because as you know, we're in a recession, prices are going high, like the inflation. So we're going through too much with inflation and recession. So it's like, Are people going to spend money this year? Are they going to still celebrate this year? Are they going to still travel this year? So what do you think, T?
Tanika, you just hit on a couple of things, but I'm gonna tell you, it's on the up and up. They said that more people now than ever, because they feel like COVID is over, quote unquote, people are traveling. This is going to be one of the higher traveling seasons since COVID happened. Also, before, they took back like it's Friendsgiving.
Yes.
Okay, so now they're going to be bringing that back. Those people that would get together for Friendsgiving or whatever, they're getting back together and celebrating Thanksgiving together. So please, even though it's a recession, people are spending money because, matter of fact, people are spending money earlier. And so we're talking about the fourth quarter, and right now is when you could be making your money or should be making your money, because people are spending right now. And you see a lot of the stores and everything are having the early Black Friday sales and stuff like that. So right now is the time for you guys to get in. People are going to be traveling a lot this Thanksgiving. So it's no holds barred this year.
And I want to say, that even with the recession and all of that stuff, people spend on what they want to purchase. So even with COVID, people were still getting their hair done. They're like, I got to get my hair done. And they were finding ways to make it happen if they could. So even if there is a recession, and we know that food prices have gone up sky high, you get a piece of chicken for $50, one wing. But if you want that one wing, you're going to spend $50 to get it. So we know that you spend money on what you value and what you want.
And I have seen an uptick. And actually, I just text Renee. My sales continue to happen in store for my products. I'm seeing my clients purchase more in store than online. So I'm like, Renee, I need some peppermint oil. Renee, I need some lavender oil is what I texted her for yesterday. And then yesterday I was selling my hair mist. So I'm starting to see more of my clients purchasing more items from inside the store.
So Tia, you're a cosmetology instructor now, and you have students and you have to teach and everything like that. What would you say, how should we begin this season going into the fourth quarter? If you are a business or if you're a student trying to get in and trying to learn, what would be some advice you would tell your students?
Well, because I'm in cosmetology and I'm in the storefront, but my storefront, my website has, my products on there as well. But we're talking about the students coming in and maybe working in a salon. They want to sell the retail products. And that's what's happening to me at the salon. I'm starting to sell more. Right now, I have to order more gel. A couple weeks ago, I had to order more facial products. So they're purchasing in store. And even the students at the school are purchasing lots of products from the school itself, because we sell design essentials, we sell big sexy hair, we sell, items in the school. And this one girl just racked up 7 items on Thursday night before I left, because she was like, I want this, I want that, and I want the other, because the holiday season is upon us. I'm sure she's going to be probably doing some hair, some family hair or something, And so she just racked up at the school. So the school is making their money as well on retail.
You mentioned having a website. And so, yes, some people like to buy online and other people like to buy in store. So that was one good little nugget, is if you have a website, you should be promoting your website and letting people shop there. But make sure that your website, which I need to do myself, make sure that it's reflecting the season, the holiday season. Now, mine is a little, you can tell with the white background, but it doesn't have anything that says Christmas or Thanksgiving or holiday. It's just nice and crisp. So I need something more towards the holidays.
For my website, I don't go in and tweak and all of that. I just leave it the way it is. But for me, I'm more of I gotta see it, feel it, taste it, smell it type person. So I'm not an online orderer personally. I want to see it, smell it, feel it before I purchase, or it has to come to me as a referral. You know what you really should get, Tisha? And that's how I'll buy.
Well, because I do rainbows and you can't see, smell, or feel my products or my items.
You can see your products. They are beautiful.
But you can't really, but you're not there touching it and saying, gauging it with your eyes, saying, yeah, this will fit my 3-year-old granddaughter. You know, you're not really there to touch it and see it. And so because you said that, that's where you have ding, 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 your live sales, your pictures with the different angles that you'll post and things like that. So if you are joining us, this is Tisha McDonald and Tanika Gillard. We're twin this. We're talking about the fourth quarter, how you should be preparing your business for the rush that is to come this year if you're not already set up. And so Tisha likes to buy stuff in the store, and I'm the same way. I'm an in-store shopper. I do buy a few items online, but there have been some, boo-boos with that too, but that's okay. So then even if you shop online, you have to make sure that your policies are in place. Do you refund, or what's the refund time limit, and things like that. So it's like a lot of things that have to be in place if you have an online store. How long will you take orders online? What's your deadline then? Like December 15th might be your deadline, because that's the only way it's going to get to the person by or before the 25th. So your 15th would be your cutoff for that.
If so, because that's even pushing it.
Yeah, that's even pushing it, unless the person don't mind getting their product after the Christmas delivery. You know what I'm saying? So, but even after that, maybe you can do gift cards on your website. Say, hey, it's after the 15th of the month, I got you a gift card to Alternatives Beauty Studio, or a gift card to Naturally Yours Hair Studio, that you can use throughout the year in case they miss that deadline. So,
So yeah, because back to the online sales, that's why it's important when you say your sizes. Oh, this fits a 3T or 1T or whatever. It should be like kind of average, accurate. Because I have had to, and this is why I don't shop like clothing online, is because almost every time I bought a piece of clothing, I had to send it back because it was too small. It's not true to size, or true to my size, or not the American size. It might be like an Italian size or whatever. And it never works for me. So I do not shop clothing online. I more so shop product online.
What I do with like the tutu dresses, sometimes I'll put like an elastic in it so that it could measure. You can measure the size. You could draw it in. You could stretch it out.
Make it flexible. That's a good idea.
Flexible so that it could fit. Because I only make things for children. So, that way it could be like that. So anyway, you guys, outside of online sales.
I'm sorry, even your barefoot sandals are stretchable because they're elastic. Yeah. So, they give a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
For a little chubby foot. Because you might have a 3-month-old that looks like a 5 or 6-month-old, and that little chubby foot, those little chubby legs, Yeah. So it has to have that flexibility. So I love your product for that as well.
Well, thank you. And I think that brings me to a point. There was a young lady, makeup artist, and she always sells out on Black Friday. I forgot her name, and I wouldn't have known about her, and I still really don't know her name. But she always sells out every year, her Black Friday sale. She's a millionaire now. The first night I think her makeup sold out in 24 minutes or something like that. So
you told me about her. Is it the crayon?
Yeah. And she sold out real fast, but she had to be prepared for that. So you guys, make sure that you have your products available. Make sure that you're prepared for the rush,
You should be preparing right behind the scenes. People don't know that you're preparing, but you're preparing. You're right behind the scenes. So,
I thought about that with Rihanna. I'm like, she's laying low, but we know that she's working behind the scenes on Fenty. I'm sure that they're going to be coming out with some new lingerie, like her collection. They just had a show. So I'm like, so behind the scenes, they're working, but we waiting for the big drop.
Nigga, behind the scenes, they did their, because, I talked to my girl. She said, Tisha, we've been did the promotional stuff. Now the stuff is starting to come out. It's starting to be seen. The commercials are starting to come. Now I see from back then what we were filming for now. So yeah, they've been doing production behind the scenes, preparing. So, but we're talking about the smaller businesses like us, not the big businesses that have millions and billions of dollars that could be spent. What are we doing behind the scenes, Nikki? How can we, now I'm good on I'm not shy. I don't mind being live. I just don't have the time to be live right now with working at the school and working at the studio. But your lives is your free advertisement. I
Yes.
see a lot more people besides the lives. They're doing YouTube and they're going on constantly off in a day so that they can build up their
Clientele, their
brand.
business, to build up their brand. Yes, and it's free. It's free for you to do that because you could easily pop on and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," and what people like to see is you in action. Like I should be videoing myself making the tutu dresses, like late nights, early mornings, doing a post. Hey, I'm up late trying to get this ready for you guys. Yeah, they like to see engagement of real life stuff. You know, I post a lot of me and Rain together, and people really come up to me and say, you know, that was really a funny video, or y'all are so cute together. But I don't only just
We
post.
all know that Rain is the star.
Yeah, we know she is the star, and she knows when the camera is rolling too. That's the thing that gets me. And so, and she even likes to replay. When I play it back for her, she's listening and happy. But people want to see the human touch, and that's what they're saying now is that small businesses really have an edge this year because your big companies can't get personal like us, like what we're doing. They can't. You're not going to go behind the scenes and see what they're doing at the big company, but a small company can say, hey, join me, watch me, help me, keep me company while I do this or that or the other, you know.
Even on Instagram Live, I see a lot of people, even one of my mentors, she does it all the time. She got on there and showed how to deep hot your makeup and just put all your shades into one palette. She did that and she stayed on there for maybe 2 hours doing that, because the longer you stay on your social media, the more people are going to see what's going on here. What's that about? They are interested in knowing. Like I said, I just don't have the time to sit live doing things when I have other things going on and when I'm working behind the scenes for you guys doing other things.
Okay, so that brings me to a point. And, you know, we might seem like we're everywhere, but I'm going to bring it all back in a little bit. When you say, not you specifically, when you say I don't have time to put into my business, then you're not going to have time to make those sales. So if you're a small business, you have to be able to make the time to make the sales. Now, everyone, and I'm talking to myself as well, because I know that I'm good with making stuff, but I'm not so great with getting online and making the sales. Like that's one thing I have to do for myself. I don't mind coming on and talking, but I need to be more mindful of coming on and making the sales, you know. So I don't mind working and doing the craft. It's the coming online.
Let me tell you, Rayhani, I'm gonna be burning the midnight oil tonight. But when I say I don't have the time, it's because like right after we get off of here, I have to do some lesson plans. I have to do my lesson plans for the week. So from Monday through Thursday is my lesson plans. I got to do that. And then I just got my other chores to do because I'm not here all week, because I'm working both jobs. So I'm MPA most of the time. But I will also be working on my website and putting in the classes for the new year. So I'm already planning, my calendar is already set for the new year. But we'll get into that in a second. Right now, we're talking about how we're going to be promoting. And matter of fact, Tanika, I'm just real quick. I'm just going to show you my little t-shirt.
Okay, cute. Okay, Black Girl Stay.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm just
serving looks. Okay.
I don't know what a look is, but your looks be serving looks. Okay, so I supported a small business, actually Asia Marie. I bought this off of her, and actually she sent it to me as a thank you. I ordered some pants from her, and you got to support small businesses. You know, Asia. I ordered some pants from Asia, and then she sent me this free t-shirt.
Awesome.
So I just wanted to say, support small businesses.
Yeah.
And she's young, you know, she's trying to do her thing, get it off the ground. And I see now she's going to be starting her YouTube channel. In my class this week, one of my teachers in training, she's training to become a teacher. She's making a room for her YouTube channel. Oh, she's an amazing wedding artist. She does awesome work for hair and makeup. That's her thing. And she's 21, young, doing it, so she's going to show me a few tips and tricks as well. She showed me some stuff for Reels, for Instagram, and then she was showing me how to TikTok because my kids won't show me how to TikTok.
I understand. So you guys are joining the Twinness with Tisha and Tanika, both into hair, both into just different things. A lot of crafty things, I want to say. We are really crafters, but we appreciate you watching us live and catching the replay. We're trying to prepare you and ourselves for this last fourth quarter of the year. Not only
we do this every year, Nikki.
We do it every year, but you think about the fourth quarter and then you go straight into first quarter, which we know it slows down just a little bit, but then that's when we talk about your year's goals for the next year. So right now we're talking about the fourth quarter, and I'm gonna bring it together. I mean, we've hit on a lot of good things, and I'm sure we'll hit on more stuff. But first, you want to be clear as to what your goal is. What is your goal for this fourth quarter? Is it profit? And if it is profit, how much profit? Is it awareness? Like, I'm really striving to get brand awareness, but is this really the season, or is this the time? I'm not going to stop my mission with the awareness of the brand, but at the same time, because it is a business, I still need to make a profit. So know what your profit is, and then how are you going to
know what your goal is and how you're going to achieve it.
Yeah, your goal and how you're going to achieve it, and make it where you can attain it. Make it a SMART goal. Make it, you have to have a strategy to how you're going to sell your product. What is the deadline? What is the return policy? What is your strategy? How are you going to get it out there? Are you going to do Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of the things, none of the things? Are you going to do radio advertisement, commercial?
Where is your audience? Is your audience on Facebook, or is it on Instagram? Is
TikTok?
Your audience on TikTok, or is it on Pinterest? Where is your audience? And that's how now I'm seeing that it's a lot on Instagram. My audience is Facebook and Instagram, but I don't know which one is more, but since I'm on both, I might as well use both. However, I was told that you should, if you didn't make your goal for the day, like you make your goal, you break it down into what you want to make the week, then you break it down on how much you want to make per day. And if you didn't make what you needed per day, then you need to spend extra time on that platform the next days out until you can make your goal for that week. You are the one that's in control of what you make per week. So if I hit I don't know, let's give a $200 number, it's something low. And you didn't make that $200 today. Now, what are you going to do tomorrow to make that 200 plus whatever you missed the day before? And that's why you see targeting 3 or 4 times a week, emails from the same company, or, several times a day in your feed, because they're targeting because they want you to purchase. They want that sale, and they're going to keep almost harassing you until they get that sale.
Right. So you have to have a strategy. And sometimes even your strategy is spending that money, like you said earlier, before we went live, on advertisements, whether it's Pinterest advertisements. Sometimes it takes money. You have to spend money to make the money back. And so it really is an investment, but you trying to get that audience, especially if you're new to this season, or to this business. So sometimes, like, I run Facebook ads, I have Pinterest ads going, I have Google ads going. I'm trying to bring the awareness first, because no one knows who Rainbows is yet. And then, of course, making the sales as well. So in the long run, in the long run, it'll benefit me. Right now, I might say, oh, I'm losing money, but it's really not a loss, because you have to invest in your own business sometimes.
To piggyback off of that, I'm transparent with you guys. I am transparent. So I spent $1,500 to get a new website done. And then, anyway, I'm getting the refund this week. Thank God. But the person was supposed to set up a new webpage for me and do my marketing. And sometimes you get stuck in you don't really know who's going to do what for you, because this has been months in the making. Already created the new logo, already created the new colors, already created everything done. Then, quote unquote, the server went down. But how long is your server down? So I said, you know what? Just give me my refund. And so I'm going to get that, but I'm going to use that and put it into advertising, because now you slowed me down. I had to cancel 2 classes because this website still wasn't up. And you were the one who said, oh, separate your websites so that your customers are not seeing what your classes are, because not necessarily your clients want to see your classes. So I got that. So I said, okay, I'll make a different website. Never happened. So what am I going to do? Put my classes right on my website, a different landing page, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the way I'm going to do it. And that's it. But right now, only 1,200 is coming back to me. The other 300 is gone. It's a loss because I needed to pay for the platform to host the hosting. I had to pay for, and they're not going to give me my money back. I sent the email. They never even responded. So I'm not going to get the hosting back, but I'll get at least 1,200 back. And I'm going to use that for advertisement.
Yeah. So you have to be strategic. That's a strategy. How you going to get your stuff out there? Then how you going to measure that? How you going to say, yes, like Tisha said, I made the goal or I didn't make the goal. I have more followers on Facebook than on Instagram. Sometimes you could go into your analytics and look at that stuff in your settings and see what's what. Or sometimes what I do with my page and my daughter's page, I'll see how many followers I have. Did we increase any this week? Did we stay the same this week? So that's a way to gauge it if you don't have the other analytics to measure it. So is it a measurable goal? Like I want to make these sales, like Tisha said, $200 in sales. How are you going to do it? Are you going to measure it? Are you keeping track of it? And in my shop, I keep a little sign on how much I want to make per week. Did I meet the goal of what I wanted to make in my shop that week? If not, why not? And how am I going to change it the next week? You know, what caused it to lag this week rather than it's been doing really well? So I'm measuring and making sure and retweaking. That's what you need to do. Retweak as you go. What were you going to say, T?
If you have a Google My Business, if you're a legit business, you should be utilizing your Google My Business page. I need to go on there, and this is the Burning the Midnight Oil that was spoken about earlier. I'm going to go on there because I have a platform that's called Postal Plan. Someone is letting me use it under their name. And so it's Google My Business, it's my Facebook hosting and all of that. So that way I don't have to sit there 24 hours trying to make a post for every day. If I sit here tonight and do my post, then it'll go out during the week.
Yes,
I've been slow with that because I'm still trying to get used to the teaching and just the, what's that, Tanika? Just the my schedule. I'm trying to catch up with my own schedule.
Also, if you have Facebook, if you have a real business, also they have the Meta Business Suites, which will connect your Facebook and your Instagram. And you could post from both of that for the whole month if you wanted to do that. If I took the time to sit and do each one of those, and they'll put the time, they'll tell you what's the best time on each day to make your post if you wanted to do that. If you are a business that sells merchandise like me, I've done it in the past. You can do your drop books. So like every hour I can post a different picture of a different barefoot sandal. It'll get on your nerves seeing the different sandals, but it's a way to keep your audience engaged. They'll keep seeing different things that you're providing. So I do the rompers, I have the barefoot sandals, which bring me to another thing. How many items do I want to sell? Do I want to sell everything in her catalog? Do I want to focus on just the bows and the barefoot sandals? Do I want to focus on the blankets? Do I want to do a bundle up the set? Do the blanket, barefoot sandals, and a romper, so you can package up the way you need to go. So you should have in your store different levels. So somebody might say, I want 3 or 4 pair of barefoot sandals, and then I'm going to give them something extra just because they ordered those 3 or 4 pair. I might throw in a bow, or I might throw in an extra pair of sandals. Or somebody else might say, give me the whole package. I have a friend who's having a baby girl, and I want the tutu dress with the blanket, the barefoot sandals, and a bow. So then I have to do something extra special for her, which leads me to this point, and I'm gonna move on. Strategy. When you are making your money for the month, or doing it for the fourth quarter, for the holiday season, you guys add that shipping into your product. So I don't want to say this to y'all. So if it only costs me 50 cents to make a pair of barefoot sandals, I'm charging $5 for the barefoot sandals. Just a hypothetical. So y'all's shipping fee is included in that $5. Because if I only pay 50 cents and I'm charging you $5, of course your shipping is already included in that that price right there. So you don't have to necessarily slash your prices or give away anything for free. Just make sure that you tack it in there, tuck it in there somewhere away smartly and strategically. See?
Yes, I agree. So, like when you're talking about package deals, so now we know I have the facial line, fine. But as a sample, of course, I'm gonna say, Renee, can you make me some sample products, small oils? Because now if you already know that I'm hair care and I'm natural hair care, so I will give a little sample, and I already have some. I just need a little more. I can have samples. I think I even told her samples of either my oil or my shampoo bars, because that's going to be my next promotional item. Is the shampoo bars. So I would want to, if they order all of the facial stuff, then I'll be like, all right, I think I'm going to give a sample of the shampoo bars, because now I'm introducing them to something new in my line.
Exactly. And that's a whole nother thing for me to talk about, because when you do your product drops, you have to work it in. So anyway, this is Twinness. Thank you for watching us live and catching the replay. We were talking about SMART goals and being strategic, and then we have to measure what we're doing. So then we want to make sure that it's attainable. Like, can you really is that realistic for you? So say you want a profit, you want $5,000 by December 31st. You want your business to have made $5,000. Is that really attainable for your business? Do people know you? Are you a new business just starting out, or are you already an established business? So is that really an attainable? So, everybody want to say, I want to make $100,000 by the end of the year or whatever, but is that realistic for your business? Have you put the strategies in place to make that goal a reality?
That's what I would go right back to the paid marketing, paid advertising, targeting. And you have to be specific even in your targeting. Mm-hmm. Everybody is not your customer. And I must say, you could have 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers. The follower count doesn't matter, because the 10,000 followers is not the people that's buying. They're just liking your stuff, but they're not necessarily purchasing. So it doesn't matter how many followers you have if they're not going to be converted to purchase. So, you can't always look at, oh, she has 1.5 million followers, and then none of her followers are buying, So a lot of times, it's the smaller businesses that's getting these higher conversions, because people don't know them. Oh, let me just try that. Oh, or something like that. And people do support small businesses, I must say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have to just back it up again, because when I was doing my live sales, people I did not know were purchasing products. They ordered online through my Shopify store. shoprainbowsonline.com. And so people were. So when you go live and people see you and they get to know you, they will come and support a small business. If you give in quality, if you have your rules and regulations in place, if you shipping and keeping up with it, I always send the little code that says it's shipped, the tracking number. I always make sure I send that to them as well. So we did SMA. Now we're going to do, is it relevant? Is your product relevant? And you can say any product.
She's doing the SMART program, guys. She's doing the SMART program.
Is it relevant? So yes. At first I was like, well, and this was a question I had for my coach. I have 2 coaches. And I was like, well, I don't know. People like the blankets, especially these football blankets. I'm in Alabama. People going crazy over these Alabama Auburn blankets. But how can I market that for the season? Is it relevant for Christmas holiday season? And my coach was like, yes. Just because they're special needs, they still want to be warm. They still want to support their team. You have to spin it the way you need to spin it. Perfect gift for your special need one who's sitting in the cold watching a football game.
It's football season up until what, February, March?
Right.
you know.
Support your team with
That's
this
right.
blanket made with special need children in mind, you know, the
Yes.
special need community in mind. So yes, is it relevant to the season? Makeup, of course, that's all year long. Skincare, oh my God, going into the winter, the cold months, you could always spin that. You know, so is your product relevant?
And I'm spinning it to my class right now. And we are talking about, because if you're a service-based business like we are, clients come in. So I think today you would be good for a scalp treatment. That's an upsell. And I just taught my class how to do scalp treatments. And lo and behold, I'm doing scalp treatments now. And I already suggested to my client in 3 weeks when her son come back that he gets a scalp treatment. So you want to start putting that in your clients' heads now. Oh, you need a scalp treatment. Or, oh, when are you getting your color redone? You know, when are you do? And I had a client come, first time client this week. She was a referral from her son, who's a regular. And she was 10 minutes late because she didn't know how to get to me. That's fine. I'm babbling. Then when she sat down in my chair, she was like, oh, I really need color. Was I going to deny that color? No. And I knew I had a client right after her, but I also know my working time. So I knew I could get the color in and be almost done with her by the time my next client walked in. And lo and behold, my client walked in. I was finished maybe 10 minutes after the time that I was to start that. But now she just added to her service and then she gave me a decent tip. So what if I turned that down? So I'm teaching my students, you can add to your services. Oh, you know, it's the winter time. Is paraffin going to really take too much of your time? No, add that paraffin treatment to their service, you know, because it doesn't cost much. Wax doesn't cost anything. And you're offering them something to capture the moisture for the winter and you're still upselling.
Not only that, but then that person that you service is going to tell somebody else and say, oh, I got the best treatment at that salon. And, you know, they're going to tell about the experience and then you probably gain more clients that way. I know, and I'm very grateful for where I work. The owner, Randall, had referred a young man new to the city to me. Now, this young man went to someone else in the shop, you know, but he was so thankful and grateful for what I did to his hair. You know, I did that scalping treatment and I got in there and shampooing his hair like 3 or 4 times, you know, and he was like, wow, you know, I went next door and they didn't even do as much as what you just did to my hair, you know. And so for that person will continue. He is like, give me your number now. Like, you know, I need to find someone consistent.
Customer service.
Yes, customer service. And so that'll bring more. But because the owner knew the quality of my work, he said, no, don't go over there. You go right here. You go to her. You see her. And so once your name gets out there and you have a good name and a good reputation, it'll continue to grow and go. So make sure that your stuff is in order. Make sure you're giving quality service. And that way you could get the referral and make your goal for that week or that month or by December 31st. That's an extra little bucket in, you know, your extra cash in your bucket.
Because you never know where these extras are going to come from. It might not necessarily be offline or your online sales. It could be right in store. And that's what I'm trying to teach my students right now. It could be right in store.
And you never know who you're serving. Like, you know, people
who is your
don't
client?
Huh?
Who is your client?
Right.
Who's your client? Who's your customer? Who's your, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Time bound. We're doing SMART goals. It got to be time bound. Like we already said, what's your beginning season and what's your cutoff date? And after that cutoff date, what are you going to do to keep your money coming? So gift cards is a good idea after your cutoff date. So my cutoff date, December 15th. After that, you could get gift cards. Now, to be honest, people don't really use their gift cards. They'll get an alternatives gift card, a Naturally Yours gift card, and they'll forget about it. But you already got paid for that gift card, you know? So and make sure that you follow the rules and, you know, and
I make my gift cards non-transferable.
Okay. But that's making it clear for the person purchasing. They know this is non-transferable. If you don't use it by February 2023, then you wasted my $50 on a gift card, you know.
No, they wasted their $50.
Yeah. So make sure that you have everything in place. This is Tanika Gillard. I'm Naturally Yours. Y'all are watching Twitness. T.
This is Tisha McDonald, Alternatives Beauty Studio, and we're just talking about the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so, you know, we have Black Friday, of course, but you know, that starts Thursday right after that turkey dinner. It's not, I mean, it starts way before then. I think people are going to start
It's now. Kohl's is already. Walmart is already.
A lot of places are already, because my client today was sitting in the chair and it was just Black Friday sales. She's scrolling, looking and shopping, you know, for Black Friday sales. So get ready now, do your lives, get your audience, be smart about your business, be strategic, make it measurable, make it attainable, make it relevant to your client. Right. Make it relevant. Like, I don't do skincare. So why would, although I could, but that's not my thing. It's not relevant to me. So it'll come off fake if I try to sell you something. It wouldn't be authentic if I tried to sell you something that's not in line with what I do. You know, Tisha sells skincare, so it's in alignment with what she does. So make sure that it's relevant to what your business is. I don't sell water, so that wouldn't be relevant to what I do, you know. And make sure that it's time bound. Make sure that you have your rules and your policies in place. Make sure if something happens, because sometimes shipping gets tripped up. And if you know, as a business owner, you let that person know, hey, you know, the shipping is going to take a little longer than expected. So sorry, or whatever. What?
Know your producer or whatever. Their lag time, because if you're ordering, like I have to order my products, my skincare products, and if you already know it's coming from a distance, you got to know their lag time so you can know what to tell your clients, you know, what their lag time is going to be.
That's the problem. If you wait and you too late already, you should have already had that done. That should have been done by June, July. That should have all your products that you needed to make your candles should have already been had. All your products that you need for your knitting should have been had. All your whatever you need, you should have already had way before now.
Yes. So that was what is your fourth quarter looking like? But we didn't even get into, have you started planning for the new year?
Well, we'll talk about that another time, because I think we hit them enough with what we gave them tonight. So if they go back, if y'all catching the replay, get the little gems, get the little nuggets out of here, and think about how you're going to promote your business and how you're going to scale between now and December 31st. It's the fourth quarter. We got, of course, Thanksgiving, we got Christmas and New Year's. People still going to be buying depending on what it is, because people go to fancy events for New Year's. We're finished with the COVID right now. Not like that. Y'all know what I mean. And so people are going to be out there partying and having a good time. So you still got time. People are going to have last minute gift ideas, last minute visitation. Oh, I didn't go see grandma, so now I'm going to see her in January. So let me get a gift. So keep in mind that the sales are still coming and flowing and going, and people still going to have baby showers and birthdays. And so get on the train now.
Also have different price points for your clients, for your audience, for your customers. Have different price points. Maybe have like a high, medium, lower range. So that way, if they can't afford, you know, the highest range, they might get the middle range. You know, I was just asked the other day, Tisha, I see your videos and I haven't done anything in a long time. So it must have been an old, or maybe she was scrolling through something. Your makeup. I love your makeup. When are you going to have your makeup class? Do you do makeup now, you know, for customers? Yes, I do makeup for customers. Now she wants to make an appointment to learn how to do her makeup, and she wants me to apply her makeup because it's the holiday season. She's going to be going away to Maryland. And so she wants to learn these things. So right now, if you are like in a service industry, you could do one-on-one coaching. You could do one-on-one classes. It's just so many things that you could do right now. And so I was just saying that you should have a high, mid, and a low range. So it gives people an option of what to purchase if so.
And on my end, since I have physical products and what companies are doing now as well, Tisha's saying high, medium, and low. The barefoot sandal, $20. Then the barefoot sandal and the bow, $25. I'm just making up prices. Then your bundle pack, the blanket, the barefoot sandals, and a romper. That's my biggest package. You know, they can add as much as they want into that package for $150, you know. So it really is on what you have to offer and how you're going to make it go. And again, if you're going to do like a free shipping, because that's what your big people are doing, your big companies, is always going to be free shipping. But how can you make your free shipping? Your free shipping is in the price. So in the price of the product that you're selling. So make sure that you're strategic about how you do that, you know. So buy $40 free shipping, $100 free shipping, you know, $200 free shipping and a gift, you know. So yeah.
All right. And that's it. Thank you for watching Twinness. This is Tisha McDonald, Alternatives Beauty Studio.
This is Tanika Gillar. I am naturally yours, and keep those pre-diabetic babies in mind. The color for this month is blue and silver for juvenile diabetes. That's just this week's topic.
And I guess since we didn't really talk about have you started planning for the new year, that'll be next week's topic. Have you started planning for the new year? I have. But now I have to reconfigure. Now that I've had this website thing fiasco, I'm going to be revamping things.
Do you think they're ready for starting off the new year yet?
Tanika.
I know.
If you haven't started,
okay.
You're late.
All right, then we'll talk about it.
Jeez. There you go, Rayhani. I am. Ready for the new year. You know what? New year, new goals. You know, don't cry about what you didn't get done this year. Let me tell you, I've had a pretty decent year this year, you know, so I'm not crying about nothing. And Tanika, I know we're getting off of here, but for example, I have never taken off Thanksgiving. In the 13 years that Alternatives Beauty Studio has been open, I have never taken off Thanksgiving because I always work the holiday.
You'll be working.
I was getting ready to say, but what's the strategy? I'm coming down to Alabama and I already have clients lined up when I get down there. I never let a holiday go and not make my money. Thank you. And that's all I had to say about that.
All right, then.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.